Is that the understanding, this is the ancient church, by the way, the most ancient one here, very small, beautiful Byzantine-style church. When somebody in a rarefied intellectual level is talking about Hellenism and trying to form an agenda that includes Hellenism, seem to have no even vague concept of how the vast majority of people think about that or how ordinary people think about that. It's something that could very easily lead to the church becoming a very kind of rarefied elitist place that's for the elite and for an intellectual elite, but not for Orthodox Christians, not for ordinary Christian people. And that kind of elitist attitude that comes from the rarefied atmospheres of places like the Fanar and some institute or some university can actually cripple the church and cripple her mission. So these things have to be enunciated in a completely different way. They can be spoken of one way in, say, Greece, another way in Constantinople, another way perhaps in Germany, but they have to be spoken of in a radically different way, particularly in America, but also in Canada, where Hellenism has no meaning to anyone. It's simply, the term is absolutely without meaning to the vast majority of people. It's only a few elitists in academia who have any concept of what Hellenism might mean. And so it's really quite frightening to people in North America, and the idea that somehow they're going to Hellenize the church means that everybody's going to have to start speaking Greek, and it sounds like some kind of Greek ethnophilitism, and or something that reminds one of Alexander the Great and the Sacred Legion of Thebes and the kind of structure of society that existed in Sparta, or Platonism or Neoplatonism, or going back into Aristotelianism and abandoning all the education and enlightenment that's come since the time of Aristotle. So it's important for people who want to discuss these things to realize that they're discussing them in the framework of a scholarly elite that completely omits the vast majority of the people who live in the country. Hellenism has absolutely no meaning whatsoever to Americans or to Canadians. A great part of our culture is Chinese. Another huge part of our culture is from the Punjab, is Sikh. So these are easier to understand because they're immediate. They're things that are there right now at the present. Hellenism just really means Athens and Sparta fighting each other, or Alexander the Great and his boyfriend conquering the world, and that sort of thing. So these things have to be explained in a way that actually has some kind of meaning to people. And we don't want to see the church move from... It has problems already anyway in communicating with the younger generation. But now to come up with some kind of intellectual elitism in the church, which is called Hellenism, is only going to cripple the church far more, and cripple the gospel, and cripple the message of the Orthodox Church. These things have to be explained in a way that have some meaning to people, and who are not stuck in an academic world or in some rarefied atmosphere, which is what really happens in, say, the Fanar or some institute or the University of Alberta or the University of Saskatchewan. All of these are kind of elitist atmospheres and rarefied atmospheres that don't really communicate or speak anything to the general population and to the vast majority of Orthodox Christians. So these are things that we need to take up and to discuss, and above all to look at a kind of spiritual Baldwinization, just as we look at a social Baldwinization, or the Baldwinization of certain brain functions. And I want to see if I get any response to this broadcast of people who are actually interested in pursuing these issues and these questions which are so urgent for the Orthodox faith in our day.